By the way, did I mention that I work for an investment company? Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day at work today. Okay, so I'm editing this video on the morning of October 2nd, 2020, and excuse me if the editing of this video is going to be a little lower quality than usual because I'm trying to get it out quickly, and by now you've of course heard the news already that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the First Lady have both tested positive for the Roni. And yeah, I don't think I have to tell you that this is bad. And I'm not speaking on this from like a political standpoint. I'm Canadian, so I don't have a horse in this race anyways. I'm just talking about it in terms of like the general stock market. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this channel right now have stocks invested right now. And if you do, rest in peace today. And regardless of political affiliation, you can see how the President of the United States getting the Roni might be kind of bad, whether you love or hate Donald Trump. And what a time for this to happen too, right before the election, like literally a month before the election. And I wouldn't be surprised if the election gets delayed because of this, because there's still quite a few debates that haven't happened yet. And of course, Donald Trump cannot attend the debates anymore because he has the Roni, right? So those are going to be delayed. And in American culture, there's actually this thing called the October surprise, which is a news event that happens in the month preceding an election that usually totally changes the game. And the reason why it's called an October surprise is because American elections always happen in November. And yeah, guys, literally it's October 2nd. So we've literally been in October for less than 48 hours and something like this happens. And what do you know? The October surprise that happens this year is befitting of the year of 2020. What a crazy year this has been, right? At this rate, we're getting invaded by aliens on December 2nd. Okay, well, how does this influence the market and my strategy going forward? Well, as I'm recording this in the morning before the markets open on October 2nd, you can see that the futures are already very red. And by the time that you see this video, you can tell me the full extent of the damage. So I'm not sure yet, but by the time you watch this video, the market will probably be open and trading. So you can tell me down in the comments. And yeah, this is something that no one could have predicted, and certainly I didn't predict it. And I did say in my previous video that I was getting out of some recovery stocks, which I guess turned out to be a great decision. So I've already sold out of some companies. Now, granted, I think that these are still great companies, and I don't think that they're going to go bankrupt or anything like that. But I've been selling out of stocks in the past few weeks that I'm not particularly confident in if the Roni situation starts ramping back up. Namely, the recovery stocks I'm talking about are Tapestry and Disney. And sorry, I forgot to mention in my previous video that I sold out of my Disney shares back in early September, and I know they have their Disney Plus streaming stuff, and that's been growing in popularity, but at the end of the day, they're still an entertainment company, and they still rely a lot on like movie deals and sports and like theme parks and whatnot, so I think in the short term, they might suffer a bit if the Roni starts ramping back up like the way it is doing right now. And might I mention I was right about this because I sold Disney at around $135 a share, and right now the stock is lower than that even before this news about Trump came out. Anyways, as to whether or not I'm selling later when the stock market opens, the answer is no. So I always say that as seasoned investors, we should stay calm in situations like this and not panic sell. And I'm definitely not going to panic sell myself. You never want to sell when the stock market is going down and when everyone else is panic selling. In fact, when everyone else is selling, that's might be a great time when you should be buying in. Besides the stocks that I have remaining, I'm fairly confident in. So for example, Facebook, Microsoft, Berkshire Hathaway, Tesla. In my opinion, a lot of these stocks are going to do well in the long term regardless of whether or not the Roni situation gets like really bad again. And if sudden news events happens like this that sends the stocks lower, it could be a great time and it could be a great buying opportunity for stocks. You know, I'm always in the market to pick up more shares of Tesla, right? So I've been wanting Tesla shares to go down recently actually because I want to pick up more shares, and we might get that soon. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, if you think the stock market is going to go lower, why don't you just like sell out of everything right now and buy back when things are cheaper? Well, the problem is that you get into the problem of trying to time the market, and that's usually never a good sign, and is usually much harder than it sounds. If you get this wrong and the stock market rebounds faster than what you anticipate, you can get left behind. And I've seen this again and again when people panic sell when the stock market starts downturning, and then when markets rebound, they're too afraid to buy back in because the underlying conditions are still bad at that point, and then they end up never jumping back in, and then they just get left behind, right? So, you know, they try to time the bottom and they miss the bottom, and then by the time they realize they missed the bottom, it's too late. So yeah, and they sold at a loss too, right? And once again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is that I'm personally going to sit on the sidelines for a few days actually and see how all of this plays out. I'm definitely not going to go all in right away today, despite it being a massive red day, because I think that this whole situation with Trump getting the Roni, it's not going to be over in a matter of a few days, right? And for reference, we can just look at another world leader, i.e. the Prime Minister of the UK, Boris Johnson, of what happened when he got the Roni. So the first thing is that the media and the official word was that he's fine and everything is fine, and he's just experiencing mild symptoms. And the next thing we know, he's in the ICU, right? So I'm not saying that this is going to happen to Trump by any means, right? I'm not saying anything. I'm not making a prediction. I'm just saying that I think it could happen, right, at this point. And keep in mind that Trump is 18 years older than Boris Johnson. So yeah, not a good situation to be in for sure. And going back to the stock market, I know there's going to be a lot of chaos in the stock market for sure once it opens and in the next few trading days. You got to remember to stay calm and stick to your principles, which is to buy great companies when they go on sale. And there might be some big sales coming. So yeah, just hold to your strategy and I think you should be fine. Anyways, I'll leave the video here. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and consider subscribing if you like the series. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, links down below in the description as always. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!